I took myself as far as I could take me. And many of us are piecemealing our lives together, trying to make it do what it do, when we could get there farther and faster by simply hiring a coach, by simply listening to what someone else that knows more than us says, by simply investing in ourselves. You need to start taking the necessary time to invest in you. I am not saying that you have to miss Beyonce. But I am saying that you can't miss you. You can't miss you. You can't find money. You can't find resources. You can't find time for everybody and anybody else and not find that same time for yourself. Hi, I'm Dr. Tiff, your relationship transformation coach. I've spent the past 20 years working with high-achieving women just like you who are crushing it in every area of their lives, everywhere except their relationships. And look, I get it. Finding the one ain't easy, and relationships are hard. But you know what's even harder? Cycling through the bad ones, or worse, staying in relationships when you already know they're not a good fit. You want a relationship of ease, uncomplicated, someone to love you down, but instead you've been suffering through bad dates, sexual incompatibility, and someone who might be good for somebody, but not for you. And if we're really being honest, you know that deep down, the work that really needs to be done starts and ends with you. If you're done wasting time in dead-end relationships and sick of looking for, chasing after, or trying to convince somebody to be the one, and you're ready to become the one, then baby, you're in the right place. So prop your feet and let's clink glasses, because I'm giving you the tea and the tips to fix your relationships. Let's go. Hey, babes. It's me, Dr. Tiff. Welcome to Fix Your Relationships podcast. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Before we get started, though, honey, I have an announcement to make, honey. Cue the confetti. I have finally launched the Facebook group. Many of you have been asking about a way to kind of build more of a community. Yes, we have our online community here on the podcast, on the Fix Your Relationship podcast, but I really did want to branch out and get a little bit more tactical, meaning I need to get to know my people a little bit more. And so this is a way. I didn't want it to be something that you have to pay into, because certainly other services, other programs that I have, yes, those cost a little money. But there's nothing that would make me happier than to offer a free avenue for us to still work through some of those relationship challenges. So if you're up for it, I would love for you to join me on the Facebook. Just go to FYRcommunity.com. That's F as in fix, Y as in your, R as in relationships, community.com, FYRcommunity.com. If you go over there, you will be able to sign up for the Facebook group. You'll have to answer just a few questions, because we got to make sure that you're legit, that you're not a bot or anything. And then once you've gotten that done, we approve the membership into the Facebook group, and you're in it to win it. So you will be over there with a lot of other like-minded individuals, high-achieving women, baddies, who are all on this journey of learning how to attract and call in the love and the life that they desire and deserve, while ultimately focusing on themselves, because that's what we're about over here. We're about fixing our stuff so that our relationships run as smoothly as possible. So if you have a moment gone over, you can pause me right now, but if you're driving, don't. Just make some time to go over to FYRcommunity.com. Okay? All right, let's get started today. I do want to talk about something that I hope doesn't offend anybody, but I'm going to get right to it. And I want to start out by asking you today, if any of you went to see Beyonce this summer, or even last summer. Last summer was Renaissance. This summer was Cowboy Carter. Both excellent shows, both amazing. And I am a Beyonce fan. I will say that first and foremost. So what I'm about to say is nothing against Beyonce, definitely nothing against Blue, and absolutely nothing against Rumi. Love them down, okay? But I just got to know, if you went to that concert this summer, how much did you spend? Now, while this is a podcast, of course, I don't expect you to have an answer for me and to respond. Okay. This is not a call and response thing, but I want you to think about if you did go to that concert, or maybe you're not in the Beehive, maybe you're a Swiftie and you went to one of Taylor's concerts, or maybe there's someone else, right? I do want to know how much you spent. Okay. And now, another question. Okay. And maybe you write these things down. Maybe you just think about it. Another question. How much did you spend on your spouse or your child's birthday? How much did you spend? My husband and I, we're in the process of planning our daughter's birthday. And probably by the time this episode airs, her birthday will have just passed. But it seems like I'm going to tell you this funny story, first of all, because she was wild for this one. So my daughter is turning 11. She's 10 right now. She's turning 11. And we asked her what she wanted for her birthday. And so she said, I'd like to go on a trip. Now, that's not necessarily unreasonable. It seems like a lot for an 11-year-old birthday. To me, I ain't never asked to go on no trip, but we live in different times, okay? But she asked for a trip, but not only a trip. She says, I think I'd like to go on a trip with a couple of my friends. Excuse me? Excuse me? What she wanted was a trip to Orlando and plane tickets for a few besties so they could go to Orlando and do whatever, okay? I said, madam, no. I am not planning a girls' trip getaway for you and your little raggedy friends. But, we're going to do something really special for her. But it won't be that. It will not be that. Okay. So think about how much you spent on a loved one's birthday. Maybe it's child's birthday, spouse's birthday. Now I want to get in your business. Okay. How much money have you wasted this year alone on clothes that are in your closet right now with the tag still on? Okay. Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. I know it. I know it. I know it. Because I have a lot of them too. And if this was a real exercise, I would say, okay, let's go in our closets right now and see what that number is. Because I guarantee you, if you're anything like me, and I know my babes, okay, I know who you are. I know you got some outfits that you're right there waiting on the perfect event, but the tags are still on, right? So I say all of this to say we all waste money on things. And no, I'm not saying your child, your husband, Beyonce, or the clothing. I'm not saying that that is a waste of money. Definitely not saying people are a waste of money. But I am saying that sometimes we spend money on things, and based on what we get back in return, or based on what we're left with, we can regret it later, especially when we realize that our own cups are empty, that we haven't poured into ourselves, that we haven't invested in ourselves, or worse, when there's a need that arises and we can't afford it. We say that we ain't got it. All of a sudden we ain't got it, but Beyonce got her hand out, you got it. But now that it's time to, go to therapy, or see that specialist that you were recommended to, or go back to school, or work out with a trainer or a coach, we start to make up excuses. What is that about? You need to hire that bookkeeper because your money situation is raggedy. No, boo-boo. You just spent $1,000 on Beyonce. You had money. You gave it to Beyonce, who has a pretty penny already, by the way. Whether you went to that concert or not, it wasn't going to change the trajectory of her bank account, okay? So these things that I just mentioned, they are all ways, and I'm sure you can come up with some too, all ways that we're able to invest in ourselves. And too often, we invest more in others than we do ourselves. I'm going to say that again. We invest more in others than we do ourselves. We make sure our kids are good before school starts. We get them all the things, all the school supplies, the new shoes, the clothes, the haircuts, whatever it is they need. We're going to make sure they're good on the first day, okay? If they need a tutor, you're going to make sure to make that happen because you're a woman, first of all, and that's just what we do. We make it all happen. Somebody wants golf lessons. You find the nearest course, right? And back to, I'm gonna stop bringing up Beyonce's name in vain because, like I said, I do love her. But back to Beyonce, love her, Rumi, Blue, love them down, okay? But some of us have invested more in Beyonce and her children than we have in ourselves this year alone, okay? And I want to ask you, what's keeping you from pouring into yourself? Oh, I have a great suggestion, okay? I am asking a ton of questions today on this podcast, and I would love it if you would go ahead and join the Facebook group so that we can talk about it because I feel like I'm asking a lot of questions of you and I ain't getting no feedback, and I'm not getting no feedback because I'm on the internets, posting this podcast and you don't have a way to get in touch with me, but I'm telling you to get in touch with me over on the Facebook, fyrcommunities.com. I'm going to post our podcast photo and a question for the week regarding this topic, right? About how much we've invested in ourselves. If you got something to say about this, if you want to answer me back, because I am asking a lot of questions today, please do. Please find me over there, fyrcommunities.com. Now, back to the regularly scheduled program. What is keeping you from pouring into yourself? Why is it so easy for you to pour into others and not yourself? Even people you don't know, okay? You say you ain't got it, but you seem to find it every time your fave has their hand out. You don't even know this lady personally, right? And I promise you, she is not in dire straits, okay? But how could you flip that? I want to know how you can flip that, though. What could you do to invest more in you in this moment? So I want you to take a minute right now, just dig deep and think about what you could or should be doing and how you can start to make the investment that you know you need to make in yourself. Is there a class that you want to take that you've been putting off? Is there surgery that's been recommended for you, but you think you can just hang on a little longer? It ain't that bad. Maybe it'll wear off. I'll put some Robitussin on it. Do you know you need to start therapy? Hello, somebody. Okay? Do you know you need to start therapy or get into a coaching program, but the time and the money, I can't find the time. I don't have the money. Maybe later I'll delay my dream. Sound familiar? Do you want to branch out and start your own business, but you can't do that and make it to Act 3 of Beyonce? Oh, Lordy. Yes, you can't make it to Act 3. Okay? If you start your business, because those tickets going to be about $2,000, okay? All right, I'm going to stop playing with Beyonce on her internet, okay? My point today is there are many things that we want to do in this lifetime, okay? There are many goals that we might have for ourselves. There are things that we want to achieve and attain. But we are not going to do that unless we invest in ourselves. I'll tell you, for me in this past year, I have invested a good chunk of money in getting my business together, in learning a little bit more about how to not just produce this podcast, but how to produce and create programming that supports what we're doing here on the podcast. I built the podcast myself years ago. You guys know Intimate Details with Dr. TIFF has been a thing. The OGs that have been here since day one. Thank you. Hey, boo-boo. How you doing? You guys have been here for that ride. But in the last year, I have done a lot. I've invested in myself a lot to get everything buttoned up. Some I's weren't dotted. Some T's weren't crossed. I wanted to make sure that this ran like a machine, like a business. And the only way to do that, I took myself as far as I could take me, okay? And many of us are piecemealing our lives together, trying to make it do what it do when we could get there farther and faster by simply hiring a coach, by simply listening to what someone else that knows more than us says, by simply investing in ourselves. That's how we move forward. If you don't hear anything else from me today, it is that you need to start taking the necessary time to invest in you. I am not saying that you have to miss Beyonce, okay, when she comes back, because she is coming back. I'm not saying you have to miss Beyonce, but I am saying that you can't miss you. You can't miss you. You can't find money. You can't find resources. You can't find time for everybody and anybody else and not find that same time for yourself. The time and the money that we have for the most part, and I know everybody's schedule is different, everybody's financial situation is different. The time and the money that we have, we choose how we want to spend it. It is a choice, okay? I don't care what you say. It's a choice. When I get home, I make choices about what I want to do with the rest of my evening. Do I want to cook dinner or do I want to sit on the couch? Well, I have to make the choice to get up and cook dinner because it ain't going to cook itself. And if I'm laying on the couch for 2 hours and at 8 o'clock I get up and I'm hungry, there is no dinner. So I make that choice to make myself something else. Now, some nights I may choose, absolutely, I am not making dinner. Somebody go get me something to eat. That also is a choice to not cook. Same thing with our money. When I go to the grocery store, I choose to buy a certain brand of rice, a particular brand of butter, certain apples. Maybe it's based on price, but I make those decisions every day, right? And so do you. There are things that we say we can't afford because we haven't prioritized ourselves and we're prioritizing others above us. And that, dear friends, babes, that stops here. Okay. That stops here. So I want you to just think about it, ponder on it. I asked a ton of questions, but I expect that you're going to join me over on the Facebook and you're going to answer me back. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how we can start to prioritize ourselves and start investing in ourselves. I want to know, what investment have you been putting off? What is it that you need to do? How can you pour into yourself? And I'm not just talking about money, okay? It might be time. It might be education. It might be therapy, right? What is it that you know you need to do? But instead, you've put it off, but you found the time, you found the energy, you found the money to do something for someone else. Okay? Not saying you have to miss out on all that. You don't. But you also don't have to miss out on you in the process. All right? Thank you, sis. Good day. Okay? This has been Fix Your Relationships podcast. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Tiff, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you in the next one. Ciao. Hey, babe, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. My goal with this podcast is to bless you with information that helps you fix those relationships that are most important to you, but not before you do the self-work needed to make sure that those relationships thrive. If this episode was exactly what you needed, then guess what? Somebody else probably needs it too. So do me and them a favor. Please share this episode with your good girlfriend and let her know about the podcast. And while you're at it, hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. This really helps to grow the podcast and puts it right in front of other women who are desperate to work on their relationships and themselves. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to join our community of like-minded women all on a journey to become the one. You can sign up for free at becometheone.myflowdesk.com/email. I know that's a lot, so just go on over to the show notes and click that link there. Thanks again for listening to Fix Your Relationships with Dr. Tiff. I'll see you right back here next week.